Hi, this is senior forward Haley Schmidt from the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. You are listening to the Jeff Giesen Show on KVSC.
Welcome to the Jeff Giesen Show. I'm Scott Gross, along with the head coach of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team, Jeff Giesen. And last weekend, you guys were down near St. Louis. You guys took on Lindenwood in a nice road series that you guys had down there. Talk a little bit about, did you guys bus down there? Did you guys take an airplane? How did you guys get down to Lindenwood University?
Well, we actually flew. We crunched the numbers, and it was actually much cheaper for us to fly, and then obviously cuts down on the amount of time that players have to be away from class and kind of that travel weary thing with still one more series to go before the break. Now,
that was probably your longest trip of the year. Second half of the season, everything becomes a little bit shorter, closer to home.
Well, we still have Columbus, so that's another flight trip to play Ohio State. But yeah, after this, now that we're home here this weekend, we only have 3 road trips left the whole second semester. So that's pretty exciting after some of the travel woes we've had this fall.
You guys landed in St. Louis. Do any sightseeing there before you got into action on Friday night?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we checked out the big arch, St. Louis Arch there, and the gateway to the west, and we also took a tour of Busch Stadium where the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team plays. So we got in there pretty early, and the girls got a chance to see a few things, and had some lunch downtown St. Louis, and then headed out to our hotel and to practice.
Game was on Friday night, and in that game, you guys skate away to a victory, 3-1 in that contest. And in that game, you got some good play out of your players and goaltenders, everybody all around. Kind of a hard-fought 3-1 victory for you on Friday night. Your overall thoughts on that first game versus Lindenwood?
Well, I think obviously a team like Lindenwood who's been struggling as we have in the past to try to get a win, you kind of always get fired up on that first night, and you're going to kind of give them the best game because you're going to try to steal one, and hopefully the team's a little road weary like maybe we were coming off travel, and they came at us pretty good. Obviously, we answered with some pretty good play. Julie Friend gave us another outstanding chance to win, and it was a good overall win for us, really.
Senior leadership again with the goals. Alex Nelson had one, Vanessa Spataro, also Molly Mott helped out, so you guys had a very good game there. And then on Saturday, things a little bit different in this one. You guys 3-2 victory, and it was a last-second goal, I believe, by Alex Nelson that lifted you guys up to a weekend in a road sweep.
Yeah, that was very exciting to actually get a win and not play that well, and that we haven't been able to say that around here for a long time because I don't think we played our best hockey, and I think we let them hang around. And we weren't very good defensively. They got a lot of opportunities. Obviously, like you see, the shots were both. I think we were within one, but we were both up in the 40s. So there's a lot of opportunities both ways, but to get the win is shows some signs, I think, of this team starting to grow and has a little bit of that confidence that they can get it done.
You saw Lindenwood earlier in the season. You had them right here at the National Hockey and Event Center. You had a hard-fought Friday night game before you guys would skate to a 7-2 victory. Did you see anything in Lindenwood? Were they an improved team this time around when you guys were down there in Missouri?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're getting better every week. They're a pretty young team, and trying to put it together. They have some transfers and obviously playing better at home. I mean, they don't play in a lot of Olympic rinks like we get the advantage of playing here. So that was another piece of it. Obviously, they play pretty tough in their rink.
Positive feelings you came away with over the weekend, and things that you still feel that the girls need to work on.
Well, I think overall just the competitiveness and not giving up and winning that game with 30 seconds left, I think says a lot about our character and about how this team's moving forward. Obviously, some things to work on, and we can't give them that many chances, and our special teams has got to keep improving. It's gotten better over the year, but it needs to be better, on the penalty kill and especially on the power play, and that's where the games are won and lost right now.
Weekend sweep for you was another weekend sweep. You had one versus Bemidji State earlier in the season and over at Lindenwood, so 3 sweeps under your belt so far this season. So now back home against Mankato, Minnesota State, an opportunity for you guys and the girls here at home to climb in the WCHA standings.
Yeah, this is up till this point, it's probably the biggest series for us of the year. Just being at home before the break. Mankato's a team that statistically, I was looking at the national stats, we are almost dead even on several levels of that, goals for, goals against, those types of things. So they're a team we match up well with, and obviously it's a huge swing in the standings depending on how the points fall this weekend.
He's Jeff Giesen. We'll talk a little bit more about Minnesota State as our program continues. We'll take a break. We'll come back with our Player Spotlight segment. We'll be joined by junior Michelle Burke and freshman Hanna Brodt. They'll join us in the next segment right here on the Jeff Giesen Show.
Hey, this is sophomore goalie Julie Friend from the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. You are listening to the Jeff Giesen Show on KVSC.
Wondering how you can become a DJ at the greatest radio station on earth? It all starts with you by contacting us in one of two ways. Either call the training department at 308-4747 or come visit us at KVSC Studios in the basement of Stewart Hall on the campus of SCSU.
It's a highly specialized field. Playing records.
Right now, KVSC is getting closer to being on air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we want you to join us in making it possible for KVSC to be non-stop.
Let's motivate. The DJ of the future is going to be a respected member of the community.
Motivate people to get out and buy or try or use.
If you're up late and enjoy KVSC, we want you here. Call the training department at 308-4747 and become a part of the late night listening community at KVSC 88.1 FM, your sound alternative.
You're there creating, thinking,
Feeling.
doing. It's a lot of fun to do.
Hi, this is junior defenseman Carrie Cohn from St. Cloud State women's hockey team. You're listening to the Coach Giesen Show on KVSC.
Welcome back to the Jeff Giesen Show. I'm Scott Gross. We're now joined by two members of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. We're joined by Michelle Burke and Hanna Brodt. First of all, we'll speak with Michelle. Michelle is a junior defenseman. Michelle, thanks for coming to the program today. Your overall thoughts so far early on the season. You guys are almost done with the first half of the season. You guys have 6 wins under your belt. You'll only had, I think, 5 all of last year. So your overall thoughts the first half of the season.
It's been such a turnaround from the past 2 years, and just being part of the team that I have been for the past 2 years, it's crazy to see how much we have come along, like how much we've changed and how far we've come. Our team is extremely close, and I think that has helped us with our chemistry on the ice and off the ice, and we all just have the same goal right now, and we all just really want to win. We all want to move up, and we all want to prove that we're not the same team we have been the past 2 years, and that's what we're here to do.
Speaking with a coach and over the last couple of weeks doing a coach or so, some of your teammates will say there's a different attitude or atmosphere around the locker room or around the team, and even the coach doesn't know, really what that means or how it's changed. What is the difference? Is it different players? Is it a different attitude? What is the big change with the atmosphere with this team?
I think that everyone has just realized that we need to get a lot more serious. Like in the past 2 years, we would come off a loss and we'd just all kind of look around and it'd be kind of calm for a loss. And now every time we lose, we look at each other and we're like, we could have done that. We could have, if we did this right, we would have been winning. We should have done this right. We need to be better. So it's the attitude of looking at it as we can and we should be able to beat these teams instead of last year being like, well, we couldn't have.
How did you guys as a team turn that around? Was it a few players with you involved that decided to turn it around and not take losing calmly anymore? What was the spark? What was the moment?
I'm gonna go back to our first series against the Gophers this year, and we're all coming off the summer, and we all hadn't known how we were gonna play together, and I remember just being in there and we were all excited and we were sitting there and it was a close game. Like we thought it was a close game and it was so up and down for what we were used to with the Gophers, and we realized then they're still the best team in the nation and they're going to be, but we are playing with them and we can play with them, so why can't we play with any other team? And I think that has been the turning point, and that's what we've been trying to build off of.
Coming to St. Cloud State, what were one of the major factors that had you choose to come to St. Cloud State from another country, even though it's Canada, but you came, to central Minnesota?
When I came, I had some options, and I came here, and I just really enjoyed the atmosphere of the team. It was a good vibe, and I felt welcome here from the minute I got here, from just my visit. I felt like I was a part of the team. I felt like I fit in here, and coming here, it hasn't changed. I feel like I've made lifelong friends and just relationships that are going to last, and if that's all I'm going to take out of it, that's what I'm going to, and I'm happy with that.
Being a junior, do you have a major picked out already? What is your focus on your studies?
I am majoring in mass communications and TV production, and so hopefully I can start doing that someday.
Well, maybe I should hand over the mic to you and you can interview Hanna.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, You can take care of that, Scott.
All right, Michelle, a final question. Any personal goals you have in your career at St. Cloud State, and any personal goals you have set for yourself this year personally?
I would like to get my second goal for college. That would be ideal, but personal goals, I just want to be the best I can be, but I have more team goals of winning and getting better and watching our progression and over the next 2 years. So.
All right, well, now I'll turn our attention over to Hanna Brodt. She's a freshman forward. She comes from Roseville High School. And Hanna, thanks for joining the program today and your overall feelings on being on this team for the first time.
Well, it was exciting because the first few weekends were all close games. Besides the first game against the U, I know the first about 5 series we played ended up either our team or the other team pulled their goalie the last few minutes of the game, which is exciting because that's contagious, that competitiveness and wanting to win and just being in the game. And I think that's something that's changed from this team from last year to this year, is that we're in every game, and so that's fun to be a part of.
What was the decision you had to attend St. Cloud State University? I know that you have some former alumni from Roseville that are here. Is it kind of something that happens in Roseville High School where St. Cloud State's a well-known place to go to play hockey?
Well, I wanted to be part of a program to help them, so that was one of the main reasons that I chose. It's also close to home, but at first I kind of wanted to get as far away from home, but when it came closer to the decision, my aunt was the first coach here, and that was cool. My dad played here, and my mom went here as well. But if anything, that would be reasons to sway me against. But it ended up working out. So,
any personal goals you have? I know you're just starting out as a freshman, but is there anything that you'd like to accomplish by the time you're done here at St. Cloud State, or even in this first season that you have as a Husky?
Well, back to what Burke said, I think team goals are more important. I'd rather walk away with the statistics of your team improving instead of individual. But individually, the high school to college jump is hard, so it's hard for me to put pressures on goals, assists, and stuff. So I've been kind of swaying towards other things that you kind of have to invest in. So,
is it hard to come in as a freshman? Is it scary to come into a big college program, a big Division I program? Or with this team, talking with other freshmen on this team, they said, Michelle and some of the older classmates that you guys have on this team are pretty welcoming, and everybody comes together pretty fast.
Yeah, we have a big senior and junior class, and so I felt really welcomed. I don't think the jump is hard. The only jump that was hard is playing. Starting off the first games against the U as a freshman, but that's exciting too because that's why you play. So,
what have you learned from some of the juniors and seniors? Good habits? Don't want to mention any bad habits.
Well, yeah, watching just some of our top forwards, even just Alex and Haley, forwards-wise, just talking with them how they've improved over the years, and that's something to look up to, and so.
You're probably taking your generals right now. Do you have any focus on what you would like to major in a couple of years, or would you just like to focus on general studies for a while?
Well, I'm still in generals, but I'm positive that I'm going to minor in psych and either economics or business. I've been taking classes for that.
Thanks, Hanna. Hanna Brodt, freshman forward from Roseville. We're also joined by Michelle Burke, a junior. She comes from Canada. Also very nice to have both of those here today on the Jeff Giesen Show. We'll break. We'll come back. We'll preview this weekend's opponent, Minnesota State Mankato, after this short break.
Hello, this is sophomore forward Amanda Arbogast from the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. You are listening to the Jeff Giesen Show on KVSC.
.com/KVSC Sports.
Hey Matt, what are you doing?
Oh, just checking out the latest St. Cloud State sports news on Twitter here.
On Twitter?
Yeah, man, KVSC Sports Twitter page. Have you seen their Facebook too?
They have Facebook?
Yeah, dude, you're not really friends with someone unless Facebook says so you should check it out.
If you're a fan of top-notch St. Cloud State sports coverage, KVSC Sports has you covered. KVSC Sports is all over the Twitter map with updates from games and news and notes throughout the week about your favorite SCSU teams. We've also decided to get with the times by launching our own Facebook page. Go to facebook.com and like KVSC Sports. KVSC Sports is socially connected and is your home for the most in-depth coverage of St. Cloud State sports anywhere.
Paul, back in. Now Rapuzzi shoots. What a save by Lee. Rebound, Lee makes another save.
Hello, this is senior forward Callie Dahl. You are listening to the Jeff Giesen Show on KVSC.
Welcome back to the Jeff Giesen Show. I'm the host, Scott Gross, along with the head coach of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team, Jeff Giesen. Big weekend this weekend. Minnesota State comes to the National Hockey and Event Center. How big is this series? I know you mentioned it in the first segment, but what are we looking at here when the Mavericks come to town?
Well, it's really big, just mainly of how we match up and where we're the teams that are going to be battling for that second half lead, so to speak. I mean, we're trying to get to that fourth spot and try to get to home ice, and they're a team, by getting points from them, is going to give us that chance. But obviously, you don't want to put yourself in the basement and have to play Minnesota in the first round. So it's a team that we match up well with, and very common and a lot of the same type of players, and it's just should be a great, entertaining weekend of hockey, that's for sure.
During the break, you and I were crunching some numbers and taking a look at some of the numbers you have here. It's almost like looking in a mirror at one another between you and Minnesota State.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the statistics as we prepare for the teams we're playing, and we're within .10 of scoring offense of each other. We're ahead of that a little bit, and then we're both dead on goals against or scoring defense. We've given up 3.00 goals against, and we're tied in winning percentage. So, I mean, like I said, we match up. You look at their top 6 scorers, they're similar to our top 6 scorers. They have the advantage right now in special teams. They had a great start to their special teams, and ours has been kind of steady, but they've kind of came back a little bit, but they had a really good jump on us early.
On special teams, where would you like to be? What kind of efficiency percentage would you like to be on the power play, and what percentage would you like to be on the penalty kill? What is a normal percentage range of efficiency?
Well, I think you're trying to get to that 20% on the power play. If you can get to that, you got a pretty good one going. I think we're right around 11 right now, 11 or 14. I got so many numbers running through my head, but I think that needs to get up to that 20. So that gives you a chance, and then the game is so much on special teams. Everybody plays such great defense, 5-on-5. Penalty kill, if you can be in that 90, 85, that's going to give you an excellent chance too.
Take a look at Minnesota State. A year ago, they were 7-28-1, and they were 3-24-1 in the WCHA. They've improved a lot. Already this year, they're 5-10-3, so they're 2 wins away from the win total a year ago. They've already matched their win total from a year ago in the WCHA. You guys are the same way. A year ago, 5 wins. Already you guys are at 6 wins. So you kind of had their number a year ago. You lost the first time that you played them here at the National Hockey and Event Center 6-0, but since then you guys have rattled off 3 straight against Minnesota State.
Yeah, and they're games that can go either way. I mean, obviously we got them at the right time, but you just never know. I mean, that's being matched up this closely. We're going to have to do everything in our power to do the little things right, and block shots, finish scoring chances, and make sure we capitalize on them, because they're going to be doing the same, and it's going to be a coin flip kind of weekend.
I got a question for you that's been going through my head the last couple of weeks, and you can probably answer it better than anybody. You'll see in the lineup that some shooters are left-handed and right-handed. Does it make a difference where they line up, especially on the line or defensively? Is it kind of like a first baseman or a shortstop in baseball, where first base you'd like to have them be a lefty, and shortstop you got to be a righty? Does it matter in setting a lineup in lines 1, 2, 3, 4 which way the girls shoot?
Not necessarily on 1, 2, 3, 4, but yeah, I mean, we're trying to put righties on the right-hand side and lefties on the left-hand side, just because it makes for an easier breakout. They're on their forehand coming off the wall. Right now our team is a little bit lefty-heavy, which is a little bit odd. There seems to be more right-handed players in women's hockey, but you try that. Obviously your center can be either, depending on, you're trying to get a good match and match. Some kids, it really matters on how they set themselves up, and others it really doesn't matter. They can make the adjustment either way.
I just wonder, because sometimes watching hockey, there'll be a pass to a player, and it's on the opposite side of where they shoot, so they almost have to do a total 180-degree turn to get a shot off, and just that brief second or two of turning, they kind of lose their shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's, part of what we work on, just footwork and trying to maneuver yourself and being able to make a play off your backhand and get it back to your forehand as fast as you can for that shot. But that's some of this kind of getting the girls to gel together and getting them to play.
Shooting a A hockey puck, is it like swinging a bat? I mean, if you're right-handed, do you shoot right-handed and left-handed likewise?
Well, the theory is you should have your dominant hand on the top of your stick. So if you're a right-handed writer and you're predominantly right-handed, you should be a left-handed shot. Unfortunately, when a lot of women started playing hockey, they'd go into the sports shop, and the young kid working at the sports shop would say, what hand are you? And the parents would say, well, she's right-handed, and they'd hand her a right-handed stick. And I think Ben Smith from USA Hockey used to always have a stat, and I want to say it's 95% of the sticks manufactured in the U.S. are right-handed because everybody says I'm right-handed when they really should probably be developed and being left-handed.
Great tips. Thanks, Coach. One more thing, things that you're looking for this weekend. What would you like to see? What players need to have big games for you overall versus Minnesota State?
Well, I think our seniors need to keep carrying the ball here. They've done a great job, obviously, like last week, and Alex winning that game for us late. I'd like to see some of the freshmen keep continuing to chip in. I mean, Vanessa got one last weekend, but I think they need to start to contribute. But we just need to have a fantastic series here and try to get some points. Tie, shootout win, whatever that might be, just trying to get some points in the league as we move forward and go into the break.
Thanks for the time once again, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.